Okay, I'm back. I hope you guys can find me. I'm gonna give it a few minutes because obviously you guys couldn't see me earlier. Hopefully, you can see me and hear me now. I'm gonna go to the Facebook group in case there's any comments on there of not being able to find the live. I'm so sorry, you guys. Let's see. Oh, Cynthia, you see me? Can you hear me and see me? What is going on today? Hi, Starlin. Can you see me and hear me now? Yes? Oh, okay. Woo! Woo. I don't know what happened, but for some reason it was only deciding to give you guys sound, and that's no good when I'm supposed to show you how to make something, right? Hey, let's give everyone a few minutes. I don't know. Starling, could you tell me, did you get a notification from YouTube that I was popping back on again? If you could let me know in the comments. And while we're waiting for everyone to jump back in or back over, go ahead and let me know where you're joining us from. Where in the world are you? I know Eva is like super far away. Okay. Good vibes, yes. Woohoo! Technology, gotta love it and hate it at the same time. Oh, are you watching me on your TV? Woo! Well, okay. Oh, you can see me. Okay. Lori's from Pennsylvania. Awesome sauce. Sun City, Arizona is where Mary's from. There we go. Awesome. Pennsylvania. Louisiana. So let's see. Oh, Nan, you're back too. Yay! Okay. See, I told you Eva is joining us from long, long distance. Oh, Eva, what time is it where you are now? Oh, we got two from Belgium. Belgium in the house. Woohoo! Awesome. Love it. North Idaho. Oh, Wendy, you can see me and hear me. Awesome. Oh, that was my goal today. Oh, I had a little stress moment there. It's like, oh my god, what's going on? Kansas. I love it. Oh, yes, here I am. Yay! I'm so glad you could make it. Buckley, Washington. I'm not sure what your name is since that's your business title there, right? Wendy. Here we go. Oh, it's 9 o'clock. Oh, okay. Oh, I'll get started so you get to bed on time. Yes, darling, I'm right here. Oh, ping from North Carolina. Love it. All right, let's go ahead. So I'm gonna go to the next scene. Let me move my keyboard over. So your homework from last week was to go ahead and get your petals pasted and your pentagon, right? And here's my accidental fussy cut little wabbit in my pentagon here. So I actually went ahead and sewed 3 sets of my petals together so I can show you on 2 so I wouldn't keep you guys bored, sewing all my petals together. That wouldn't make any sense, right? So what you want to go ahead and do, I'm actually going to stray from my also trusted 50 weight today, and I'm going to sew it with 80 weight today. 80 weight thread, which is also from Orifil. The white one that I use mostly from Orifil in 50 weight is the 2021. You can see the number here. And the one Orifil I had, it's kind of off-white. So it's not white. Can you guys see the difference in color? Yeah. So I'm going to use this, and this one is color 2026. So I'm using the 80 weight today just so we can switch it up a little and you guys can see the difference too. Oh, okay. So you didn't know how to change it for the purpose. Yeah, no, don't worry about it. What is your name though, so I can address you by your name instead of say Horse and Round Fiber Studio. Hey, let's see. Oh, you said it already. Kat. Oh, you're Kathy. Well, hello. Now you look more familiar. Yes. Oh, and Julia's why different weight? So I'm playing with the 80 weight today because it kind of hides more. You know how I like to stick with just one thread color if I possibly can. Not out of laziness necessarily, just out of convenience so I don't have to keep on switching threads every time I'm EPPing. But I noticed if you guys saw on some other of my projects where I'm using all solids, you see the white thread a lot. And I know it bothers a lot of people when they see the thread. Me, I used to. I'm getting more used to seeing the thread now. But then if you switch to Orifil 80 weight, or some of you guys might be sewing with 60 weight to bottom line thread, that one kind of, both of them, they kind of blend in more as you stitch. And if you can see here, I'm gonna move it up to the camera and let it see how you can't see the stitches at all. And this is the 80 weight. Yeah, the 80 weight is thinner. The higher the number on the thread weight, the thinner it is. So this is the 80 weight. So it's very, very thin. You can barely see in front or back. If I bend it, you can see my stitches there, right? So it's very thin. So I figure, okay, let me play with the 80 weight here. Oh, Cynthia uses 100 weight. I bought a cone of 100 weight once, and I have it somewhere. I should experiment with that too. It's always good to experiment with your thread weights. If for some reason 50 weight you use it and you don't like seeing too much of your stitches, then try 80 weight. The 80 weight is thinner than the 50 weight, so it's obviously not quite as strong. I tend to pull when I sew a lot, so if I'm too, should we say, too excited, and I'm like stitching away, then I'll break the 80 easier than the 100, the 50 weight. But, if you go at a regular pace, then you're fine with both. I haven't tried silk yet. I know we have some quilters that do silk. Is anyone a silk stitcher in here? If you want to share your experience stitching with silk thread, it's really popular. A few of my students from the English Paper Piecing Academy, that's all they use, silk thread, and they love it. And yeah, when they show me their projects, you can't even see anything, like their stitches just like melt in with the fabric like butter. Let's see. Oh, and Cynthia loves silk thread. Okay, that makes sense. And just in case you're on this live and you don't know where to enter the chat, and if you're on a smartphone, if you look under the video, it has a little button there where it says live chat. You click on it and then the chat opens up and you can participate in the chat. I know Kathy was having a hard time finding where to join the live chat, but that's where it is if you join from a smartphone. Dottie, you didn't miss anything yet. I had some mishap with the camera not showing. You could hear me, but you couldn't see me. So I would do a demo by voice. It wouldn't make any sense. So I had to close out and come back in. So we just started. And we're just talking about thread a little bit. So I'm switching to 80 thread to the 80 weight thread today, just so you guys can see the difference. And I was just showing a close-up of the 3 petals that I did in preparation for today. And we'll be sewing 2 sets. And I'll be sharing my tips and tricks on best results to get them to line up evenly. All right, so shall we get started? Okay. And I have to take my glasses off when I sew, or I can't see what I'm sewing. I'm going to make sure I'm in camera here. So when you have your pieces basted and you've been playing around, let's say you had different colors or whatever, and you play with the layout, how you want them to fit together. I kind of mix mine around a little because I wanted to distribute the darker petals with the lighter petals more evenly instead of having them on one end. And so this is what I came up with-ish. So I'm going to put these away. So when you have your 2 petals, you want to make sure when you did the basting, that you baste them the way I showed you last week. The reason I want these short ends basted last, because then it'll be easy to adjust even if your petals don't necessarily match up perfect. Because in your basting process, you might have not gone in all the way to the corner and it sticks up a little, so it might be like that. See what that looks like, how it sticks up. And if that's the case, it's super easy to just open this back up and rebaste it. And you feel for the paper and rebaste it. Let me grab a little glue stick. and repaste that one since I just opened it up like that. And I'll get my needle back. Let me put my glasses on so I can see your comments real quick. Okay, Dottie uses invisible thread. Yeah, I hear it's really nice too. Ooh, Kathy uses historical costume making with silk thread. Love it. You know, I used to be hooked on making corsets and costume. Was it historical costumes? Yeah, that was my big addiction for a while. Because I love making the whole boning structure inside those corsets. It's so fascinating. But back to May Blossoms. So what you want to do, make sure that they line up perfectly. So they should line up straight along the bottom. And these two corners here should match up also. Corner here, corner there, right? And once they're good, we'll just place them face to face, right sides together. And you want to make sure you can just feel with your fingers that these two corners match. Feels good. And then I like to just start on one end. And I think I need like a magnifying glass because the distance from where I'm looking without my glasses, it's an adjustment process. I think my eyes are getting older too. And I'm gonna go ahead and secure that. Let me redo that so you can see. So I take 2 stitches here and then I twist around the needle just to secure. And then we have a little knot there, right? It's nice to go. And then we just keep on stitching our way up. Remember, if you feel yourself getting bumping into the paper, that means you went too deep into the seam here. So take back up the needle, come back out, and you should just really just feel the fabric and it should just go through really smoothly. I know when I'm in a rush, I stick the needle in too deep and then I feel myself going over the paper, and that's when your thread breaks easier too because it's just dragging across that paper multiple times, right? Making it weaker every time you cause that friction. Let me get my glasses on. This is uh Ping, what do you mean? Coates and Clark? I know folks that like to use Coates and Clark too. It depends, yeah. Experiment with the threads always. Because there's probably gonna be one that I might love and you might not like it, and vice versa. And if you just jumped on now, the first video we had a little mishap, so I'm gonna have to delete that from my feed later after this live is over. I don't know, for some reason you could hear me but you couldn't see me, so this is the new live session we just started, so you didn't miss out on much. Oh, I didn't know that. So Lori said Coates and Clark has become a poor quality thread. Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad. Yeah, so always experiment, see what you like. And you know, if you do have older thread sitting around, that would be perfect for using when you baste your, if you are a thread baster, then use your older threads because they're not gonna be there for any other purpose than to just hold your seam allowance in place, right? So that's when I would use those. I use Dottie uses mighty sights. What is that? Is that like a magnifying glass? Because I'm nearsighted, so if I don't wear glasses, I can't see your comments. But it's harder to see what I'm doing sewing wise because I had to keep it at this particular distance. And then if I take my glasses off, I can sew much faster because it's more in focus, the project that I'm sewing, but then I can't see computers or let's see if I was watching Netflix. I have no idea what's going on. And now that I'm at the end corner, right there, you see, I'm gonna do double stitches and wrap around the needle and secure it with the knot. And there we go. Got one more petal. And just take the loose end here, stick it back in through the seam allowance, and just trim it off. And we're moving on to the last petal. So who has their petals here with them, and who's sewing along with me? I know a lot of you guys got ahead of me and you sewed your petals together already. It's matching up good. Double check that, top and bottom. And I match this corner up here. Looks good, feels good. If you can't see well, always go by touch. You feel the matching up. The corner here, right there, matches up. And this matches up this edge. And we'll sew this to get these two halves together too. And I've seen a lot of you guys using the two-toned petals. So pretty. Let's see. Oh, Kathy's been using Gutermann. Yeah. Oh, good. I've only used Gutermann polyester thread for garment making. I haven't used their cotton threads. The only cotton threads I used was their hand quilting cottons, but then I used to do micro crochet with those instead of stitching with them. Let's see. Oh, Eva's sewing along. Yay! Starling, are you okay to sit and cut your papers? Is that allowed? Did the doctor give you an okay? Or are you being a naughty girl? I would be a naughty girl too. Hi Sally! Long time no see! Oh, Nan's stitching along. Love it. Breakage on the 80 weight. Only if I tug too hard, but then that goes for any thread really. Oh, that's good, Starling. I'm glad he approved. As long as it's not hurting. Yeah. Oh, when I mentioned two-tone petals, you know how these May blossoms have two halves. So last week I showed you how you can switch the two prints or the two colors. So if you join us in the Facebook group, if you haven't already, everyone's sharing their projects in there. And it's been like a big old flower fest, you know. And a lot of the Sewalong participant, they played with making the two halves in different colors or different tones of the same color. And it's so pretty. Oh, see. Okay, awesome. Finished one petal. Very, very good. Oh, Kim, you're watching from work. Oh, I hope you're enjoying your lunch break, maybe? Yes. Yeah, I think cotton thread is so nice for EPP projects. But I do love sew line bottom line thread too. No, not sew line. Bottom line thread. I'm getting them all confused now. Ooh, Lori's doing a two-tone one. Can't wait to see more of yours. Stitching along here too. Let's see who I missed. Oh, hi Jenny, that was you. Long time no see too. How are your dilly flowers coming along? Would love to see. Let's see. Let me scroll down. Okay. I'm almost done with this set of petal halves too. And then we can start attaching them to the center pentagon. Yeah, I think if you do the two-tone one or even multiple colors, you can have a lot of fun. I would love to see a rainbow colored May blossom, you know, all the colors of the rainbow. And at the last stitch here in the corner, do 2 stitches and secure. There we go. Sally, are you stitching along with us or just watching today? Okay, so now I got my 5 petals done, and we're gonna start attaching them to the center pentagon. Ta-da! So now I kinda maybe wanna decide who do I want, or do I like this layout? Just double check again. That looks okay, right? All the darks ended up here, so let's switch them out a little bit. Get a little variation. I think that's good. Okay, so I'm just gonna start with the pentagon and 1 set of petals that I've sewn. And oh, Sally, you're just watching today, and maybe we'll stitch on Thursday night. Sounds good. So then we have these 2 lined up, and see how they match up on the corners and corners. And now I'm just gonna go in and sew them right across. And in the first stitch, double stitch and twist twice around the needle to secure with the knot. And then we go straight across. Ta-da. So tell me in the comments, how many May blossoms are you all planning on making? I know Julie's making like a gazillion. Julie, are you here today? And if you're catching us on the replay, you can always ask questions in the comments or ask them in the Facebook group as well. Oh, Lori's making 10. Yummy. Julie, you're not making 100 this time? Oh, hi, Helen. And then last stitch in the corner, double twist around the needle to secure it, but don't cut it. You don't need to cut it. We just open it up. See? I'm gonna move it up slowly so we don't get dizzy. You can't even see the stitches, right? Barely. Yeah. I think I froze for a second there. Let's see. Oh, Helen's got 4. Yay. Love it. And Julie, if you guys haven't seen, she made like 100 dilly flowers. See. Yes, these are a little more work than the dilly flowers because they got the petals, you know, in 2 parts. But you're doing awesome. Oh, Julie, you're planning on making 30? Oh, love it. Ooh, Dottie's planning on making a table runner for her dining room table. How pretty. Okay, so I'm gonna go on to my next set. Just place them facing each other, right sides together, and line up the corners right there and there. And then our thread is still attached, so we just keep on going. But in the corner, we make 2 stitches. 1, 2, and on the second, I'm going to go ahead and twist my thread around the needle to make a knot. And there, I lost it. And this, I'm using clover needle that I showed you guys. I'm just gonna stick it in here because, oops, hopefully if I stuck the needle in right, and re-thread it. There we go. Let me scroll down the comments. No, Cynthia. Yeah, if they don't match up exactly, you're okay. Even mine, if they're off by a little bit, even a 16th of an inch on each side, you're good. Because once we take the papers out, you won't even notice. And then I'm going to keep on going. Did you, Cynthia, let me know, did you get the pre-cut papers or did you get the PDF version? And if you did get the PDF version, make sure you go back to the first session, the first video of the Sewalong, and I'll show you how you can adjust your paper templates if for some reason they don't align perfectly. Oh, Cynthia, you got PDF? Yeah. So go back to the first video if you haven't seen it yet, and I show you how you can make adjustments so they'll fit perfect. Yeah, whenever you cut templates from PDF, make sure you stay consistent whether you cut outside of the line or inside of the line or center of the line. The lines on my PDFs are thinner for that reason, so that you can choose either or, inside or outside. Don't cut on the center of the line. And then because the petals are too thicker, or wider, I mean, not thicker though. So then we would do just a sliver, like 1/32 of an inch on the inside center side of the petal, and then they'll fit together perfectly. But I explained all that in the first video as well. So I'm gonna go back. Did I freeze for a second, you guys? Let me know. And secure that one. Yeah, when you add fabric, remember fabric adds bulk in the center seam. So you have two seams here, right? Adding bulk versus no seam on the pentagon. That's why you'll see a little discrepancy when you put them together with fabric. But that should be okay because it shouldn't be too noticeable. See how mine are still fine? So try that and don't get discouraged. Keep on going. I'm sure they look fine. And then I'm gonna keep on going. I still have plenty of thread left, so I'm gonna keep on going with the third piece and go through the corner again and secure it. Yeah, you know, I used to be all perfectionist, OCD too, but yeah, it's okay. Yeah, Cynthia, I think yours are perfectly fine. I'm sure they're perfectly fine too. Just back away a little bit, or if you wear glasses, take them off and they look perfect. Mm-hmm. I've almost got my 3 petals sewn to the center pentagon. How far along are you that are stitching along with me? Oh my god, I keep on reading and then I keep on pulling my needle out of the and losing my thread. And we keep on going. So tell me, Starlin, when are you gonna be able to start sewing again? Right across almost to the end of my 3rd petal here. And in the corner, making 2nd stitch. And on that one, I'm going to wrap my thread around my needle twice and secure it. Okay, Kathy just finished the last pair of petals and then she'll start attaching them to the pentagon. Yay! And so now that this thread is too short to keep on working with, I'm going to just pull it through the seam allowance here. Petal or pentagon, doesn't matter. I'm just going to tuck it in there so we can bury the thread. Let's go. And then let's grab more thread. Oops. And this is like my best friend now, the clover needle threader. I love it. And Nan still putting petals together. Okay, awesome. Very good, very good. Okay, so you can sew already, Starlin. That's awesome. Yeah, just be careful. Take it slow. So I got 3. Let's move on to number 4. I start in the corner. Second stitch. Wrappy wrap. Oops, not tangle tangle. Wrappy wrap. Go through. Oh, I think I got that stuck. Oh, there we go. And now I'm gonna just sew across. It is, isn't it, Kathy? The clover threader is like gonna be your best friend. Especially when you use needles that have like the tiniest little eye. My god. And now I just got knot in there. I'm just gonna keep on going. So you're gonna stop at the knot. So I'll just do a double stitch here. No need to cut. Here we go. I love that, Jenny. Yeah, that's why I bought multiple. If I can't find one, I'll open a new pack. But yeah, I found them to be so helpful that it's nice to have one like in every room or little sewing kit. Let's see. Oh. And Julie bought some kind of needle threader, but she doesn't know how to use it. Tell us which one you bought. Maybe we can help you figure it out. Right? See, I knew I wasn't the only one. Jenny has like 6 or 7 of these needle threaders. Yeah, they're handy dandy little things. So I'm in the last corner here, on my last corner. So I'm gonna add another stitch because I did once. I did second stitch and then wrap around with my needle to secure it. So this way, in case something goes wrong here, it won't unravel your whole circle of petals. It'll just go to the corner. And then now my last petal. And remember, these papers are okay to bend and fold so your hand's comfortable when you're sewing. So I bent mine away like that. See? So I can sew this last petal to it. And now I'm going to just secure this one. Last petal in the corner here. First corner. Now I'm curious to know which needle threader you have, Julie. Yeah, small holes on top for needle and lever on side. Is it the one that looks like a pen or lipstick almost? By Sewalong? And Wendy just sewed on a petal backwards. Yay! Now you're a true EPPer. We all have to go through that. And I'm halfway across my last petal. We're just chugging along here. Almost done. See, you're among friends. Wendy, you're not the only one. It's like a rite of passage of EPPers. You have to sew something on backwards. And I'm on my last corner. Oops. Last corner here. Do one stitch. Oops, see, now I broke it because I pulled too hard. Did you hear that? So just make another knot. If it breaks, just go back a few stitches worth of space and just redo it. And just stitch back over. And I'm on my last corner here. And twist, twist, secure. And now you can see a good example. See how you see that gap there? A-OK, that's fine. Let's see. Oh no! I hope you're able to backtrack a little bit and get it fixed, Mary. Let's see. Oh, Julie, your threader doesn't have a name? That's interesting. Yeah, post it in the Facebook group. I'm sure someone else has it too. Or we'll be able to troubleshoot with you to figure out how the heck to make it work. Alright, so I got my 5 petals sewn. And you can see all the petals are snug as a bug, right? They're tight. This one is a little too tight, but that's okay. It'll shift when I sew it together. And it'll shift and shift. So they'll be fine. So initially you might see a gap like this. I'm going to pull it apart to exaggerate it a little bit. That's fine. So we keep on going. Mary, yeah, even if it was in the middle of a petal, just stop there and then backtrack a few stitches and keep on sewing. Alright, so my thread is still attached here to the project. And so I'm going to keep on going. And I'm just going to fold these right sides together since my thread's right there in the corner. And I'm going to actually do one stitch here and a second stitch and secure it with the knot in this corner too. Twist, twist, and secure. And remember last week I told you guys the May Blossom petals? They have a straight edge here. See that straight edge? And the straight edge goes to, let me grab a pen. Here we go. See how the edge is straight here and then it starts curving? So you're going to stop stitching right there. You see? Make a big honking arrow. There we go. So we're going to stitch up to this point. Double stitch. Knot, knot, knot. And not keep on stitching around the rounded part. And you'll notice that as you're sewing, you'll see it. See on the petal here? See how it's straight? And then it starts curving. So we only stitch to the straight part where it ends. Okay? I'm gonna go up here. Hi Judy! I'm glad you made it! And now I'm at the part where the straight edge ends and where it meets the curve. So I'm going to put a second stitch in there and secure it. And we can even open it up to double check. See? And then right where before they split apart into the curves on each side. So I'm going to overdo it a little bit so you can see what happens if you go beyond the straight edge. Don't do this. This is just to show you what happens. So let's say I get too overzealous and I'm watching the super fun show on TV and I just keep on stitching along this rounded edge. And what happens when I open it? What do you think will happen? Dun dun dun. If I open it, oh no! See that little spider web thing in between the petals? We do not want that, okay? We do not want this. I'm gonna put there. See how the stitches look like beginnings of a little spider web? We do not want that. So we end where the straight edge is and double knot. So let me undo these. So this was just to show you what not to do. Let's go and remove these. Yeah, so the edges were more distinct on the side edges were more distinct on the dilly flowers, and the May blossoms here, they're more subtle when you're sewing them together, but once you open it up, you'll see the difference. Okay, then got back to where it's supposed to be. Oh, one more, see? Okay, let's get this back on the needle. Oh, hi, Susan. Glad you ladies could make it. So on the last stitch here on the straight edge, we did 2 stitches and secured it with the knot. Twist it around the needle and you're good. And now we got this end thread, right? We buried in the seam allowance. Just tuck it back in there. Come out a little bit. And then chop it out. So we got one side part together and we keep on working around all the other sides. And that'll be actually be what you can do for next week. Before I go and show you. So if you're doing one flower or multiple flowers, very good. Go ahead and sew the petals together, the pairs, and sew them to the center pentagon, and then sew the connecting sides between the petals. Let me show you one more since we're here. Okay, so you got this. I'm gonna sew this next together. I just fold my paper so it lays flat. It's just paper. Start on the corner here. In the second stitch, twist twice around your needle, and now I broke it. Let's do that again. I think I got a longer piece here. There we go. I'm just gonna trim this little one. So go through the corner. 1 time, 2 times, twist, and come up. And then I just stitch up the straight edge there and stop before it starts flaring out into the curves of the petal. And Judy actually went ahead and measured her. You're doing the Judy's doing the 1 inch petals, and she measured it, and it's 5/8 of an inch up where you should stop. So if you're doing the 1 inch May blossoms, that's a good tip from Judy. Thank you. And I think that's about the last stitch. I do the second one, twist, twist, and secure. And open it up to double check. And then we got the second connecting side done. Okay? And I'm gonna go ahead and bury this one. So before next week, go ahead and make sure you finish your flowers. Put that away. And sew all the connecting sides together too. And now since in the email I mentioned a lot of folks were asking about the edge pieces, I'll show you how to put these on just a plain background fabric. Oh, hello, here I am. How to put them on a background fabric. Let's like this and do it the traditional applique style I can't talk today, where we would be applying this to a background fabric, turning it to the back, and then cutting open and removing the excess fabric, right? I'll show you that, but if you well, I'll show you that if that's how you guys want to do it. But we now have the May Blossom edges too, right? So this is what the little cheat sheet, the block chart that I'm sending out with all the paper templates look like. And if you got the PDF version, it's also in there too. So you can kind of get a feel for why you need 3 pieces for the May Blossom edges. It's different from the Dilly flower, which just had 1 piece going around in a hexagon. But remember that the May Blossom is a 5-sided flower, right? It only has 5 petals. So it can't be equal to a hexagon, which has 6 sides, right? So that's why the templates end up being 3 different ones to make up a hexagon where our pentagon flower can fit in. So the templates are named A, B, and C. B and C are mirrored templates, right? B1 and B2, you just flip it. And I'm going to show you, let's see, I think I have yes I do. Let me show you with the set of acrylic templates. So these are for the 1-inch May Blossoms. Judy, did you get the PDF? Yeah, it's on the first page on your PDF. And then we have B. We'll see how it's mirrored here. All your lettering is on the back for most of the part, just so that you can, you know, make little notes if you need to with like erasable marker. So we have A, B, and then C, whoop, like that. And I put a little arrow here so you can make sure that the arrow faces up. That way is how you know that your template is correct. See, arrow and B, this is mirrored, ignore that. So once you remove the paper backing, it'll look correct. And same for C, the arrow and C. Let's move this a little bit. And this happens to be a 1 1/4 inch May Blossom. Let's see if I have the 1-inch one closely. Should have. Yes I do. So that we get the 1 inch to fit inside here. And this is with 3/8 inch seam allowance. So the seam allowance we would overlap like this, right? And then the 1-inch flower would fit in perfect in the center. And that way you get a hexagon shape out of the pentagon flower, okay? And who was it inside the group mentioned? Yes, the 1-inch dilly flowers go really well with the 1-inch May Blossoms. And these shapes will make the 1-inch May Blossoms and 1-inch dilly flowers fit together perfect. So you can mix and match. So that's where this comes in handy. If you want to take a screenshot now too, you can. Judy, look on your PDF. It looks a little different. I didn't color it inside the PDF so that you can actually use those templates too, because they're the 3/4 inch templates that I made a little block chart for you inside the PDF. But yeah, you have the template in there too, the little block chart. So each of these goes in with the packages, with the papers, just in case you forget and so you don't get confused and think, oh no, how do my templates go? But another good way to tell these apart, the B and C part, A obviously is, you know, perfectly reversible, right? But B and C is where you kind of want to pay attention, and you'll know it's a C piece because it has the narrowest part right there. See how this edge is really narrow? B does not have that, and the C has one long and one short edge here. So you can tell which one is B and which one is C. So the paper templates, they look like this. So upon looking at them at first, they might be kind of confusing, right? Oh my god, they all look the same. Ah. But, so we refer to this template. So we go, oh, A, okay. We got A here. Let me move my head out of the way. Let's see. There we go. So we got A here. Remember we said B. And then you want to match this up, B. And C is the only one that has this little short edge. And then we got C. Ta-da, like so. And these are for the 1-inch May blossoms and will fit right on top. Does this make sense? Everybody's following along? Yes, yes. Cynthia, on your PDF, it doesn't have the green color. It's just the 3/4 inch template that I laid out for you, so you can use those too. And this way, it'll fit together with your 1-inch May blossoms too. Sounds good. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome sauce. So do pay attention. If you got the acrylics, do pay attention to this little arrow pointing up. Point me up. Same for C. Point me up. And you'll be good. And these will make some fun hexagons, I think. I can't wait to see you all mix up May blossoms and dilly flowers. Let's see. Let's do one of each here. I think that's going to be so much fun. Like that. Squish that in. And like that. And now we got hexagons, pentagons turned into hexagons. Yay! Cynthia, yes, the first page, it doesn't have the color, but it has the little block chart on there for you. It shows you where each of the pieces go on the PDF. Yes. Page, not the cover page, the second page after the cover page. So technically page 2. And that is it. And Judy needs 27 to make a table runner. Oh, I can't wait to see. And if you did the dilly flower sew along with me, you remember how I showed you how to baste these? I didn't even think about that. Do I need to show how to baste these? I think you guys are okay. Yes? No? Yes? Let me know in the comments. Just remember for these EPP Applique Made Easy templates, we do not baste inside here, right? The inside curve, we just leave the seam allowance. Okay, Nan says looks good. I think you're all okay. You want me to show you? Okay, all right. I'll show you. So let's do. Let me grab one piece of fabric. Hold on, so I can use it for background. I just grabbed a fat quarter. I don't know what this is. So I just grabbed this. Oh my god, it's kind of psychedelic. Let me grab this. Let me show you with the set of templates here. This, I'm gonna just take piece A. And I don't even have acrylics for myself yet for these. I've been busy sending all of you guys first. So I'm just gonna take a piece of the A template. I'm gonna put a little glue so I can place it on my fabric. Let's see, I think I'm just gonna place it right there, roughly. See how all these thread unraveling? So I'm just gonna come in a little further, but I do prefer personally 1/4 inch seam allowance, and I can trim it along here, right? So now that that's secure, I can go ahead and cut it out. So whenever you have deep curves like this, I do not recommend basting them up. I'm gonna kind of eyeball 1/4 inch here. Very good. That to the side. So the acrylics come in really handy because then you can just trace and you don't have to do this whole eyeballing thing that I'm doing right now. And we cut this off. It's kind of deep. We'll chop that off. Oops, scissor won't go in. There we go. And we got that piece done. And to make it easier, you can always also put a little glue here if you want to, just around this edge, just to keep the fabric in place. Hi Jennifer, you made it! Yay! Yeah, Cynthia, let me know. I'm gonna go in and re-download, see what you got in your copy. I can check too, definitely. And oops, it moved a little. Oh, I overcut a little bit. That's okay. We'll move it a little bit. We got about 1/4 inch there. Okay. Okay, that looks good. So then I'm just gonna go ahead and baste my pieces. I don't need this. Kind of getting in the way. Go. And remember, you don't want to glue all the way to the edge, because then that's when it makes it hard to sew your pieces together. Julie, you don't want to leave the material in the cave. I love how you called it the cave. That's what we're gonna call it now on. I don't like to leave this here because I'll show you with another piece. Like so. Let me show you with something else. Like this one, yeah. Like the back of the May blossoms too. I mean dilly flowers. You don't want to leave the fabric in the cave because then that's gonna make it difficult to remove the papers. But if it's a little cave, maybe you could. You could try it. Try experiment with it once you get your templates. They're on their way to you. Experiment and see how you like it. I prefer trimming this because that will keep, especially if you have, let's say you have a dark background and a light petal, right? If you leave all that excess fabric of the dark fabric in the back of the petal, it'll show through once you take the papers out. So if you can, do trim it to shape, because the whole point, once you have your May blossom, and since I do 1/4 inch seam allowance, and this is 1/4 inch seam allowance, is that it'll cover the 1/4 inch seam allowance of the petal, exactly like that. Does, yeah, it makes sense? Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Okay, from now on we call this the cave, okay? It's called a cave, okay? So we have that. Then let's say I'll take the B piece. B. Bring my fabric back here. Do you guys remember the days of Craftsy before it changed? I think I got this from a Craftsy something something. I can't remember. It's been sitting on my shelf. So now I'm just gonna outline the cave. Like so. Judy, you always crack me up. People be like, cave, what are those crazy EPPers talking about? If you know, you know. I'm gonna trim my cave. Like that. Yeah, when you trace it with acrylics, it'll be much easier because you don't need to eyeball this area. You can just follow your trace lines. And Starlin asks, have you ever embroidered flowers for a piece, say the center and flowers are... I haven't embroidered any of my May blossoms. No. I've only embroidered on lily flowers, but I think that would look really pretty too. And then we move up here. I'm just doing this really quick, you guys, in case it's being repetitive from the lily flower song. Oops, I kind of want to redo this side because I want this to be tucked in. I don't want the little corner to fly out outside. There we go. That. And then if I place my May blossom on top, that's how it'll look. And then I'll just go all the way around. Is the chat gone? Uh-oh. Let me know if the chat's gone for you guys. And then we would just need a C part. CC. Like that. Here. Let me do 1C since we're here. And so remember, when you base your pieces, you do 1C like so, and then the next C you would flip, right? Don't make them all facing one way, because then you'll only have right side edges for your May blossom. Make sure you give it a good flippity flip when you base them, like so. Oh, and that's another reason here too. Do you see how it says edge left and how it says edge right is mirrored? That way, when you place these to trace your fabric, you'll see, oh, you're making the left edge, and when you flip it, the right edge will read correctly and the left edge will be mirrored. So you have that on these, the B and C on the acrylics, it'll tell you that as well. Here, edge left, see that? And then edge right is mirrored, so it'll tell you give it a flip, and once you remove these papers, you'll see through it. Does that make sense? Yes. Yay. So the edge templates are 3-piece. So I got a lot of questions saying, oh, I only want the 1 piece for the edge, with people thinking that included the 2 May blossom petals, the center and the petal. But no, the edge piece is a 3-piece set. So I tried to put in a graphic. I think I need to go back and put in graphics for all the listings just so that we make that clear. So it's different from the lily flowers. Not just 1 edge template, but you need the 3-piece set to make the edges. So I'm gonna make mine for this side. So I want to make sure I put a dot of glue. This side is down, right? Oh no, I just lied to you. Put a dot of glue here. And we do this. So that when I flip it, it'll be right side. Yes. Whew. See, this is what happens when I try to talk and sew and baste at the same time. Confuse myself. do that. Oh, okay. Now I see chat too. Are the edge pieces available in all three sizes? Yes, they are, and they're listed as a option. If you click on the options, view more options in the paper listing, it's on the bottom. I'm gonna trim my little cave here. You don't have to be exact, but we'll try to get as much excess away as possible, but not too much that you're going into the paper, right? Leave at minimum of a 1/4 inch and help you match up with your flowers too. Let's do this one. While you guys are chatting, let me look at the PDF real quick since I have you here. Let's see, because the PDF should show. Let me move that out of the way. And I'll print it out and I'll explain it. So then it's on here. And if you're watching this on the replay, you'll see it there too. Let's see. Let's see, where's my PDF? Hold on 1 second. Just gonna print that out real quick. Where's my PDF at? May Blossom Edges. Hello. I'm still here. Let's see. Ah, there you are. Let me download that one real quick so I can see what you guys are seeing. Okay. Downloaded that. Open it. Oops. Page 2. Yes. So you have it on page 2. Let me print it. And that way you'll see what on earth is Elise talking about. Does not look exactly the same that she is showing. Hold on. Print page 2. Let's see. Let's see page. Print page 2 for you and I'll show you real quick. Print. Now I'm just waiting for my printer to come alive. And yes, and while I'm here too, if you're not in the Facebook group yet, please do come join us there because that's where we're all sharing our projects and you can all hang out with each other. And here, let me put a link to the Facebook group. Facebook.com/groups. There you go. That's our Facebook group. So on page 2 of your PDFs, if you got the PDFs, this is what it looks like for you guys. The only thing it doesn't have is the colors, but showing you that you need A, B, and C, and it says, please note, B1 and B2 are mirrored, and C1 and C2 are mirrored. So it's the same thing as this one, just without the colors. And these are also the 3/4 inch templates. So if you print this out on cardstock, you can use these as well. So they're not going to waste. I hope that makes sense. And speaking of mug rug, Judy, Did you guys see my Happy Earth Day mug rug? Ta-da! Let me finish basting this one. So this is what I made for the Earth Day mug rug Earth Day project with Karen Newberg, the retired astronaut that designed this fabric collection for Robert Kaufman. So this is my project, and I made a squared May blossom mug rug just because I can. So then this piece is now all basted. Let me get that corner. So Cynthia, look on your page 2 of your PDF, and you have the block chart right there. And now we got C, like so. Same here, see? A, B, C, and then we mirror B1 and B2. Flip it. So this is inside the PDF version, and this is inside your paper templates. It comes together so you get to see how they lay out. Judy, yours are on the way. And yeah, it looks much different when you quilt this. So one way you could quilt these is just outline the inside of the petal and outside of the petal. You can't barely see my outside outline. Cynthia, page 2. Did you check page 2? Because it's the same I just downloaded the same PDF that you have. And this is what should be on page 2. If not, just go ahead and download it again. Yeah, because it's the same PDF download. Cynthia, go into your Etsy shop and re-download it, and you should see this on page 2 of your templates. Yeah, it's right there. I just downloaded now just to double check, and you'll see it when you open it up. And yeah, so you have the option of, quilting this with big stitch quilting, just outlining with soft colors that match your fabrics. Or you can go all, wild and do black stitches. I love black thread. Not quite as forgiving as, threads that blend in with your project, but it's super fun for a small little project like this. Here I did the navy that goes with the darker blue fabric. So there's a lot of ways that you can play with these. And so this, if you guys want to, take a screenshot of this too if you want. But if you have the PDF template, this is page 2. And if you just order the paper templates, this will come with your paper templates, so you have a reference. And let's see. And Dottie, yes, we'll see you next Tuesday. Let's see. Yeah, Cynthia, I'll go into your account and see what your download looks like, because you should have it on page 2. I'm really confounded now, not to go figure it out. And yes. Oh, the square template is not up yet. Is a square template something that you guys want? Let me know, because I made these just for this project because I had to do something. And look, I used brown fabric. I'm not very good with brown fabric, but I got incorporated in the center. Yes, Judy, you're getting the square templates. The square on the hexagon templates. The squares, I didn't put it up in the shop yet. So this is what you have. And so if you got the paper templates for the edges, I showed you a quick demo. If you have any more questions, let me know in the Facebook group too, and then I can go ahead and upload a video showing that more in detail. And if you have any questions before then, I think on video 2 of the dilly flower Sewalong, I show you how to baste edges for the dilly edges, and it's the same process. And just make sure you don't baste the cave. Just stick to leaving this, because we're going to EPP applicate your flowers onto them later, like so. All right, so I think that's it for today, you guys. Do you have any other questions? Let me know. I'll give it a few minutes since all that mess up with the video not showing earlier. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, because I'm right here. And Tony said square would be good. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I think everyone's good. Even with all the mishap we had today, right? Okay, great. So I'll see you guys in the Facebook group. If you have any questions, leave it there. And yes, please do. And post your progress photos in there too. I try to screen grab them so I can include them in my newsletter as well. I don't know if you saw my collage last week. Yeah, Sunday. But I'm gonna resend that one. Maybe you guys will see it then. So I try to catch all your sharing photos too. So please do keep on sharing inside Facebook group or even on Instagram. Just make sure to tag me so I don't miss it, because all these photos, they just swing by, and Facebook and Instagram, they just decide what they want to show you. So do tag me, that way I won't miss out. And I'll see you guys next week. And so homework is finish your flower all together. Okay? Yes, and Jennifer, you can if you're on my Sewalong, if you signed up for the Sewalong, you're getting the Sewalong newsletter. Well, more like a summary and update of what's going on. And I'll have my regular newsletter going out later this week, and it will be in there. Okay? And I'll see you guys next week, and I'll see you in the Facebook group. Bye.